excited he's here. It's Mr. Bradley Cooper, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Bradley. Thank you for joining me. Come and have a seat. Bradley Cooper. Great to have you here.
Thank you. This is nice.
Well, thank you. It's designed for your comfort. Well, this sounds a bit crazy to me. You just flew in to be with us from Las Vegas today.
Yes, yeah. But we're going to Las Vegas. We were in Los Angeles yesterday working. Yeah, we just wrapped.
And this is, we should say, this is exciting. This is
Hangover Part 3.
The Hangover. Yeah. So those guys at this, they've still got a hangover.
They all do, yeah,
That was some party they had. There have been rumours here in the press, I don't know if you've read this, I don't know if you even know who this young woman is, but there's been rumours over here that Cheryl Cole, who we all love in this country, is going to be making a guest appearance in Hangover.
Yeah, I don't know if that's accurate or not. Yeah, I'm not sure if that.
Well, you're making the movie, so if you don't know, then I think...
But you know what? We don't know everything. There's surprises all the time.
So maybe she could be hidden in a bathroom like that tiger.
That would be nice.
Okay. So did you know... you knew, I guess, when you were making one that you'd be working with Mike Tyson.
I did, yes.
Okay. Now, that must be, I would have thought, initially at least, an intimidating day at work.
Especially for Zach, who plays Alan, who Mike had to hit. Yeah. He was not looking forward to that day. But you know, Mike, he's a great guy, and he was in Hangover Part 2 as well, and I was so happy to meet him.
He didn't actually make contact with Zach.
You know what? To be honest, I remember because I was right there, and they take stills when you're shooting a movie, and he hit him so fast, or went by, and Zach has a big beard, and actually his beard was indented when he did it. But there's a still of the shot, and he's already followed through, and Ed and I haven't even turned yet. That's how quickly he hit him. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, terrifying. I imagine.
Could have been the end for Zach.
All right, now, Bradley is a very talented actor, and he's obviously quite easy on the eye. This is, men like me, you will find this very, very irritating indeed. He's also an excellent cook, I believe.
I love to cook, but I grew up, I'm a half Italian, and my grandmother, you know, growing up, that was just, all Italians talk about is, you know, what you're gonna eat for breakfast, and then when you're eating breakfast, what are you gonna eat for lunch, and, you know, and then it goes on and on.
But you used to work as a cook as well, didn't you?
I did. I worked at restaurants since I was 15. I was like a busboy, and then worked in the back of the house, and yeah, all the way up till I was in my early 20s.
So in magnificent shape, acts, has sparkling eyes, cooks, and also you speak fluent French.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah.
So irritating. I mean,
no, I have some horrible traits.
Well, OK, well, what do you have? Humanise yourself for me. Make us men feel better about ourselves. What are your bad habits?
The hardest thing to stop was chewing tobacco. I used to always chew tobacco.
Well, that's a disgusting
habit.
That's
disgusting, yeah.
Okay.
And I would do it at work, too. Ooh. I remember shooting this movie, I can't believe I did this, called He's Just Not That Into You. And I remember being there, and I had scenes with Scarlett Johansson, who's a beautiful, talented actress. And oh my God, it's Scarlett Johansson, and I can't believe I have this job. And hold on a second. And I'm thinking of this and I just have a cup, and I don't even think about it. I have this big wad of dip in my mouth, and we're talking about the scene, and I'm like spitting, and I remember there was like saliva, would be like a line of saliva in the cup. And it was really disgusting, yeah. Okay. And she would, and here's the other stupid thing. Like deep down, I thought like, yeah, but you really like it. Come on, it looks like I'm a man.
You feel as manly. And it kind of is.
Like, let me tell you something, Bradley. No, it's disgusting.
Well, let me just check. Women, does that put you off, Bradley? No. Yeah, you're saying that's so annoying. David, have you ever chewed tobacco?
No. No. I think I should try it, though, because I don't think I come across as manly enough.
Stephen and Joe, I imagine you have tried most things. Did you ever do the tobacco chewing?
Positively, we did everything.
OK, so Bradley has a new movie coming out very soon here. It's coming out on the 21st November. I think it's the best movie you've ever made.
Oh, thanks.
And I've liked many of your movies, many fine films. It's called Silver Linings Playbook. And this is, I imagine, a pretty important film for you.
You know, it was, honestly, it was life-changing. I mean, it was when I was a kid dreaming about being in movies, and it was movies like this. And David O. Russell is you know, one of the best American directors that we have, and Robert De Niro's in it, and Jennifer Lawrence, and Chris Tucker, and it's just a great story that takes place in Philly, and I'm from Philly, and, you know, I played De Niro's son. It was incredible.
So your first day working with Robert De Niro, how does that play out for you? What do you do?
You know, it was an interesting culmination, because the first time I ever met him was, well, I never met him, but I was in the audience, and he was doing Inside the Actor's Studio, and I asked him a question, and...
So how old were you then?
I was, you know, 25 6 or something.
So you hadn't had any
25.
real success that we would know?
No,
as an
no,
actor.
I was still in school.
Okay.
Yeah, and I asked him a question. I remember he said, because he doesn't talk much. Yeah. And he had done the whole interview, and I remember I asked him I was so nervous. This is stupid. I was so nervous because it was such a specific question I asked him. it was such like a nerdy question about this movie Awakenings, where he wanted to go for a walk, his character, and this medicine he was taking wasn't working anymore, so he kept having a tic, and he would compensate by pretending to rub his eyebrow. And so I wanted to ask him if that was something that he saw or just came up, and I was just like, I was shaking. Because you had to stand up and ask the question and say your name and what track you're on, which is so stupid, so I never even said that. But anyway, so this other guy asked a question, and I asked it, and then he's there, and he's like, no, I didn't see anybody do that, no. That's a good question. And I was like, what? Wow. And it was like a beam of light shot into my stomach when he said that. And I honestly, and this is so. And then I asked the school if I could have a copy of that moment, and they just had it like in the wide set. And I'm not kidding. I would think about it like for a year later. I would think like, well, you know what? Like, go for it, because Robert De Niro did say that was a good question. And honestly, it was, yeah. So.
Just that tiny bit of
You
advice.
never know the impact you have.
So Jennifer Lawrence in this film, the two of you are great together. It's very funny, the scenes between you, and it kind of culminates in a big. There's an important thing. It builds up. I don't want to give too much away, but there's a very important dance sequence.
Yes, yeah.
At the end, and
that was,
and it's not quite what you expect it to be, and it's funny as well as being kind of important. But presumably, you guys had to work pretty hard at that.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you want to become intimate and get to know somebody very fast, you put them in a situation where you're going to be vulnerable, and in the first second. And I never met Jennifer before, and I got that role very late, and so I drove from one set to another, and I showed up, and the next thing you know, I'm in this small studio that was really, there was no air conditioning, and I have like dance clothes on, and then there's this beautiful woman who I hadn't seen Hunger Games or anything, and I didn't know her. I just spoke to her on the phone. Who was so present, and next thing you know, I'm like, she has to put her hands under my sweaty armpits, and we're this close and having to learn to dance, but it actually worked out perfectly, because I think it really made us able to just lose everything and just be sort of present with each other.
We have the trailer show. It was 21st of November. I loved it, and it really wasn't what I expected. I mean, I didn't know what I expected.
Right.
But it was funny, and it was sad, and it was exciting, and at the heart of it, there's a really lovely romance. Have a look at this.
I know where I belong. Hey!
Oh, what the hell?
I just want us to be friends.
So how did you lose your job?
By having sex with everybody in the office.
Everybody?
I was very depressed after Tommy died.
We don't have to talk about it.
Thanks.
How many were there?
Don't let Tiffany get you in trouble.
She's my friend. Why would you say that?
I belong with you.
There's this dance thing. I can only do it if I have a partner.
Oh, I'm not gonna dance with you.
So is this the girl you wrote about?
You wrote about me?
She's fine.
She is my friend with an F.
A capital F. She's fine.
For friend.
Let me tell you, you gotta pay attention to signs. When life reaches out with a moment like this, it's a sin if you don't reach back. I'm telling you, it's a sin if you don't reach back.
There we go. Silver Lining Playbook is the name. And, well, we saw just about everyone in there, of course, with De Niro. And it's kind of quite a rough scene between the two of you. You have a kind of argy-bargy scene going on there.
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't tell the story. I'll try to tell the story.
No, tell the whole story. You can't laugh at something and then keep it private.
Anyway, next question. Yeah. But we had to do this scene, and at this point, we've done 2 movies together, and I really love him to death and feel totally comfortable with him, and it was one of the reasons why I felt so secure initially, because I was like, oh, at least Bob's there, and we had to do this scene in the attic. A very emotional scene. I mean, like crazy. Like my character's flipping out, and we could start hitting each other. But, my character sort of is very much like his father, and like those very light, those thin pajamas you wear? They're almost like a pimp outfit, when you go...
Oh, like a satiny kind of...
Yeah. So Dad had that on, and also I had that on. And then at one point, he's on top of me in the bed hitting me, right? And I'm like this, and he's on top of me.
And you got no action?
No. But if I did, it would have been all over. But there's no underwear. There's just literally like a half a centimeter of silk in between his and then he would do the take, and he'd be like, "Is that good? We got good." And I was just trying not to laugh because Robert De Niro, you know, like you feel that, you know, is the thing. And I just thought, how has this happened?
Wow.
At 36 years old, I have Robert De Niro's
I'm rubbing balls
junk
with the greatest
with the
screen actor.
greatest-
Well, David Mitchell has a book out. I hope it's packed with anecdotes as rich as that one, David.
It's got an identical anecdote.
That's his move. That's De Niro's move.
Hey, I need to ask you this. Now, you will have seen Bradley. Bradley, you kind of do modelling work as well, don't you?
No.
Yes, you do. What's going on here?
That's horrible.
Well, what are these, holiday snaps?
These are from, like, yeah. These are me and my...
What's that? Is that your Twitter profile? What is it?
These are me and my
What's
pals.
going on there? What's going on there?
Just me and my pals hanging out.
You know, if only
Don't you do that with your buddies? You pick some prime ones.
If we could pan round, you see De Niro in silk pyjamas taking it. We done yet? That's a sexy photograph.
You think so? Oh, I think it's awful.
When you're doing that picture, is there a sexy place in your head you go to, Bradley? Where do you go when you're taking these pictures, Bradley?
The truth is, I love everything I do, and like acting and being in a promoted movie. I absolutely fucking hate taking a photo, having that done.
Well,
so
you look like you're hating every second of that.
I think that was me just sort of cringing that I'd somehow taken my shirt off.
Well, is it embarrassing to do that? I mean, it's not
Yes.
as embarrassing as if I was to take my shirt off, but I mean, you feel like you're being sort of sold in the wrong way?
No, I just don't feel comfortable doing it. I just don't, for some reason, yeah, I never...
So you wouldn't want to take it off now?
Oh, God, no. Believe me, you don't want to see it.
It's been lovely having you here. You're a charming company.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Really love it. And I know you're slightly jet-lagged, and you come in and you've found the energy to entertain us all. And also, congratulations on Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh,
really.
thank you.
I think it's gonna win awards, and I hope it wins a major one for you as well, because it's terrific. It's out November 21st. Go and see it. You won't regret it. Mr. Bradley Cooper, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much.